In today's video, I'm here to satisfy all fans of the most popular TV series
by building minifigures and constructions inspired by classics like Peaky Blinders and Breaking Bad. Game of Thrones is a must-watch for any fantasy fan. Two of the main characters fighting for the throne are strong women. With Daenerys, I use a white dress and long white hair. Of course, we can't leave Dany without her partner, Khal Drogo, whom I put together using legs and torso from Marvel set, a head with a confident smile, long black hair and a beard. Then I placed her beloved pet, a terrifying, fire-breathing dragon on Daenerys' head. Hey, we are already in the later season of the show. Now, that's better. On the other side stands none other than Cersei Lannister, wearing an ornate red dress with long blonde hair. She's holding a goblet of her favorite wine. But wait, the fight is over the throne, so it's time to build that legendary place. No, Tywin, that's not what I meant. Began building the throne room with a base plate with simple stairs and interesting tile pattern. At the top, I added some final rounded steps. To capture the rough stone castle vibe, I built the walls with the snob technique, which allowed me to make big dark tan bricks. In the center of the wall, I left a spot for the iconic throne room window, so it is time to build it. At the back, I put a simple wall of transparent bricks, and at the front, I added those... what do you call it? Those black metal parts. You know what I mean. Finally, I added a big orange snowflake on the wall and two chandeliers. The throne room is almost complete, just missing one key element, the throne. I quickly got to building it. A few grey pieces, lots of swords, and the throne is ready. I finished off the room with some final touches. A quick look at the whole build and we are ready to continue the fight. Game of Thrones wouldn't be the same without the Queen's advisors, namely Varys and Littlefinger. To build Varys, I used a rope from one of the Harry Potter figures and Yo Mama's head, while for Littlefinger I used Aragorn's rope, a head with perfect stubble and hair with a hint of grey. And I'm wondering, which one of them do you hate more? You should kill Ned Stark. You should torture Ned Stark. Now we are back to building Cersei's family, adding her son Joffrey, dressed in a Shakespearean robe, along with Elrond's head and cloak. For Tyrion, I found the perfect torso, legs and a bearded head. I also gave him his signature hairstyle. Nephew, care for some wine? Oh, not feeling well? Too bad. Time for the restroom. Oh, hello father. Oh, goodbye father. Alright, now all of Tyrion's problems are solved.
Yes, I know Tyrion didn't kill Joffrey, but feel free to comment this video anyway.
Next up is Tyrion's beloved brother Jaime, looking handsome as usual. I think it's the time for a PvP with Ned Stark. I used old Aragorn's figure's body and such a Wait, where's his head? Oh, there it is. Thank you, Joffrey. So, after a bit of trouble finding his head, I completed the Ned Stark figure. The next characters are the Stark family, so I quickly assembled a small scenery representing a part of Winterfell. Well, maybe it's not that small. Time to build Catelyn, using Professor McGonagall's green dress and an older head, Rob, an orc body, cape, and a beautiful hair. Sansa, blue dress and red hair, Arya, another orc torso, and Jon... Excuse me, Cal. Besides the Starks, I also built Jon Snow, though he's not exactly accepted by their mother. For him, I used the body of one of the orcs and a very handsome head. I have to say, I'm quite pleased with how they turned out. And let's not forget the future king, Bran, whom I equipped with Anakin Skywalker's clothes and an epic, record-breaking wheelchair model. And I even added his alternative transportation, which is Hodor. Alright. Everyone's ready to fight, right? Was this an unexpected guess? To build the Night King, I used a white head and a torso of one of the Knights of Ren. Time for a battle. After a brief battle, Bran takes the throne. Well, so be it.
Now for an important announcement.
If you like the minifigs and constructions from this episode, check out my Discord, where you can find free instructions for most of the stuff from this video. The next show we'll dive into is The Walking Dead. Time to build the main character, Rick. Using the following parts, we get a very accurate depiction of this badass. Next, I move on to his partner, Shane. Referring back to the start of the series, I placed both guys in a police patrol car. I hope there won't be any arguments. Right, guys?
Lori is mine. No, she's mine.
Well, that didn't go so well. But wait, isn't it too empty here? Before building more figures, we need to give them some survival space. So I quickly started building the prison watchtower from season 3 of the show. After setting up the area, I added the entrance hut to the tower. Now we can focus on the tower wall. To make them look a bit more apocalyptic, I tried to make the walls appear heavily damaged. At the top, using various doors and ladders, I built an observation terrace, finished off with a small room with a sloped roof. Back at the bottom, I added the creme de la creme of the whole build, a custom barbed wire fence. Tell me it doesn't look perfect. Finally, I added some vegetation. Ready to move on? Rick? As we know, Rick and Michonne are inseparable. Grey jeans, a torso with a yellow shirt, and Captain Sparrow hair, and Michonne's ready. Wait, where are her katanas? Oh, there are. So, shall we see how they do in a fight? Good, now we can continue. For Glenn, I used a baseball jacket, a tan hat that fits him perfectly, and a matching cap. For Company, using simple parts, I made his partner, Maggie. And I'm really not sure why I put them in an abandoned grocery store. Honestly, I don't know. Speaking of Maggie, here's her father Herschel and... No! Governor! Stop! Sadly, Herschel has been eliminated. Now let's teleport to the woods where Negan is waiting. Bang! Glenn's also eliminated, so Maggie can peacefully start filming her new show with Negan. Rick's group wouldn't be complete without Daryl and Carol, so I built them both quickly. With some added weapons, our characters are ready. Are there any bigger badasses than them in the series? I don't think so. To complete the group, I added Carl, Abraham, Rosita, Eugene, who is looking awesome, and Gabriel. Who's your favorite character? The next show, chosen
By the order of the Peaky Blinders.
is Peaky Blinders. I started building the Garrison pub interior with a small base covered in the wooden flooring. At the back I placed a wall finished with fancy wallpaper which I made using a floor tiles from the Rivendell set. In the space left in the middle I quickly built an epic bar full of expensive beverages and various glasses. On the sides I added decorative lamps and gold columns to give the place an even more fancy look. Finally I built a bar counter with golden tap and plenty of glasses and drinks. I also added a small table next to the bar. I think the whole thing turned out really cool. Now, with enough drinks stocked up, let's move on to building our heroes. Starting with Tommy, I used the elegant outfit and a head with a serious expression. To make it look even better, I added a custom coat, put his deadly weapon of choice, a beret, on his head and gave him his favorite gear, a cigarette and a classy revolver. Then I also built his beloved Grace quickly. Next, I focused on his brothers,
Arthur.
and John. For both of them, I used clothes from the Harry Potter series too. I gave
Arthur.
a very cool face with a mustache and John a simple young man's face. And now just their favorite weapon...
Arthur, that's not what I meant.
Now just their favorite weapon and the Shelby brothers are ready for reckoning with their enemies. So I quickly built a worn down street from the early 20th century. At the end of the base I created a simple facade of a typical building from that period. I tried to replicate the color scheme and wall textures of the buildings from the series as faithfully as possible. And who'll be our hero's opponent? None other than Billy
Billy Kimba.
I bet he didn't expect his enemies to have a heavy machine gun. Ada, what are you doing here?
Gentlemen, you are going to make peace, now.
Well, I guess that's the end of the fight. Clearly nothing is more powerful than the words of a young mother. In Peaky Blinders we also meet several other strong women, like Aunt Polly. For her I used the torso and legs of Tina Goldstein and an official Lego head from the actress who played Polly, Helen McCrory. It comes from the Narcissa Malfoy figure from the Harry Potter series. To accompany Aunt Polly, I created Lizzie. Then I placed all the characters in a bar, soon to be visited by one of the show's most memorable characters, Alfie Solomon. For him I used such elegant clothes, a fitting hat and a perfectly seated hat. And now, with all the Peaky Blinders characters ready, I hope you have subscribed to my channel and liked the video. For the final part of this episode, I prepared something special for you. No, I didn't save Breaking Bad for the end just to increase the average watch time of the episode. Really, I didn't. For the initial version of Walter White, I used legs with white underpants, a green shirt and a head with glasses. At this stage of the show, our hero still had a full head of hair. Now for his partner, Jesse Pinkman. For Jesse, I used worn out old jeans, a t-shirt layered over a long sleeve and a brand new Lego part, a red vest. I finished him off with the Hawkeye's head and hair, which I think suits this character perfectly. Oh man, that's some serious flex right here. Since the show is called Baking Bread, you probably guessed our heroes are passionate cooks, so it's time to build their workspace. Started building their mobile bakery with such a base. Then I angled the back and the front of the vehicle just right. For the sidewalls of the RV I used bricks with a specific texture and plenty of bricks to represent all sorts of doors, vents and lamps. The lab setup includes a simple couch, curtains, 3 tables, a few large chemical containers and tons of small dishes. I even put a tray with a product on one of the tables. It's probably just some blue soup. Definitely nothing suspicious.
Purity 99%. Want to buy it?
The other side wall was built to allow easy access to the lab, and I topped it all off with a fully mobile roof. Really nothing suspicious about this kitchen. So guys, are you happy with the final effect?
Jesse, we have to cook more.
After a hard day's work, the heroes can head home. Oh no, it seems the RV's battery died. Wonder why. Jesse, Do you know anything about it? With the main characters ready, it's time to build Walter's family, so I prepared a small dinner setting. Now we can build Skyler in stylish clothes and the unaware of father's sins son, Walter excuse me, of course I meant Flynn. Besides, I also built Hank and Skyler's sister, Marie. Wait a minute, Skyler, what are you doing? At the beginning of the show, Jesse's friends, Skinny Pete and Badger, handled the product distribution, so let's build those characters. For Skinny Pete, I used some dirty pants, a hoodie torso, and a typical skater hat. For Badger, I put together jeans, a grey hoodie, this perfectly fitting hat, and that messy hair. The guys are ready for work. I'm not the police, can you sell me something? Sure thing, bro. Looks like they are not doing too well. I think it's a high time for a slight update of Jesse and Walter, Heisenberg's fix. As the business grew, Walter met some of the biggest criminal underworld figures, such as Gus and Mike. For Gus, I used the only yellow shirt available from Lego and dark tan pants. The hat is an official Lego head representing the actor who plays Gus, sourced from his character in The Mandalorian. I built Mike with grey pants, a torso with a hoodie and jacket print, and this hat. Of course, we can't forget the lawyer, Saul Goodman. While at it, I think it's time to build Gus's lab. Place a simple dark grey base covered with characteristic red tiles. At the back, I built the first level of the wall, finished with grey bricks. On the wall, there is also a red door, a board with important information, and simple light. Then I raised the walls on the upper floor using the same technique as below. Next, I started building the red mezzanine, supported by red pipes and railing. At the end of it, I placed amazing red stairs. You will find instructions for building these on my Discord. At the bottom of the lab, I placed shelves for barrels, a few tables, and various machines needed to make the blue product, all connected with many different wires. Since the lab is built, we can place our heroes inside. Wow, the whole setup looks fantastic. Gus, why are you holding a knife? It's getting dangerous here, so I think it's time to end this episode.